Dear Scorpio, imagine yourself by a river at midnight, the stars scattered across the sky like pieces of truth waiting to be seen. The water flows slowly, silently, as if it holds the secrets you've buried deep inside. In that stillness, something ancient awakens in you, the truth you've long avoided, the love you've withheld, the power you've forgotten you possess. You are Scorpio, the sign of transformation, of mystery, of sacred depth. But you're not just a zodiac sign on a birth chart. You are the soul who has walked through fire and emerged wiser. You are the one who knows how it feels to lose everything and still rise over and over again. But rising Scorpio doesn't mean you always healed. Sometimes you carried the ashes with you. Sometimes you smiled through grief, loved through fear, and stayed silent in moments you desperately needed to be heard. And so today I'm inviting you into something different. Not a battle, not a breakthrough, but a soft return to yourself. You don't need to be strong all the time. Scorpio, you've been told you're strong, brave, fierce, and it's true your strength is unlike any other. But strength can become a burden when it means never allowing yourself to be soft. When you've taught yourself to carry pain instead of speak it. When your power becomes your armor and you forget a bit how to be held. Maybe somewhere along the way you learned that to survive, you had to protect your heart even from yourself. Maybe you grew up believing that vulnerability was weakness, that emotions were weapons, that silence was safer than asking for help. But hear this now. It is not weak to want comfort. It is not weak to need love. It is not weak to say, I'm not okay. In fact, it's sacred because the moment you allow your heart to crack open, even just a little light begins to pour in. And within that light lives the healing you've been waiting for. The mystery within you is not a maze, it's a map. Scorpio, you are ruled by Pluto, the planet of the underworld of death and rebirth. That means you were born to go deep, to explore the places most people fear to look. But in doing so, you've sometimes turned that intense gaze inward and judged yourself for what you find. You've called yourself too much, too emotional, too trusting, too guarded, too broken. But Scorpio, your depth is not a flaw. It's your language. Your darkness is not dangerous. It's your womb of becoming. Your silence is not emptiness. It's where your soul listens. What you see as too much is exactly what makes you unforgettable. There is a sacred fire burning inside you, one that longs to be honored, not feared. So instead of hiding your intensity, what if you let it speak? What if you stopped editing your truth for the comfort of others and finally gave yourself the freedom to feel it all? Your emotions are not obstacles, they're messengers. Your shadows are not shameful, they're sacred. And your healing, it begins the moment you stop asking for permission to exist. The wound you carry is also the doorway. In so many Scorpios carry a wound that says, if I open my heart, I will be betrayed. Maybe it started with someone who broke your trust. Maybe it began with a silence when you needed love. Maybe it's lifetimes old, a scar from the soul. And so, like a fortress, you began to protect yourself. You built walls. You became the mystery, the one who knows everyone but reveals nothing, the one who loves deeply but keeps a piece of themselves locked away. But Scorpio healing does not ask you to demolish your walls overnight. It simply asks you to knock on your own door and let yourself in. Start small, light a candle, and sit with your pain. Speak one truth aloud just to yourself. Touch your heart gently and whisper, "I am safe with me." No one has to understand your healing. No one needs to witness it for it to be real. This journey is yours and yours alone. Self love for Scorpio isn't loud, it's sacred. You don't need grand declarations. You don't need to post about your glow up or tell the world you're healing. Self love for you happens in quiet spaces, in the moments between the battles, in the softness after the storm. It happens when you let yourself sleep without guilt, when you cry without shame, when you stop performing power and just breathe. It happens when you choose yourself even when it terrifies you. Here are a few sacred practices you might try. Moon journaling. Write your rawest thoughts under the moonlight. Water rituals. Take a salt bath and imagine pain dissolving from your skin. Mirror work. Look into your own eyes and speak love aloud. Burn and release. Write down what you're ready to let go of and burn the page as a symbol of your rebirth. Remember, healing is not linear. Some days you'll feel powerful, other days you'll feel broken, but every day you're becoming more you. Let yourself be seen. Even if it's just by you, there's a part of you that longs to be truly seen, not just for what you do, but for who you are. But maybe you've believed that if someone truly saw you, they'd leave. Or worse, they'd try to change you. So you stayed hidden. But the truth is, the more you hide, the lonelier you feel. You were not made to be invisible. You were made to be profound, to be present, to be powerful in your truth. Even if the world doesn't get you, you can choose to get yourself. Even if they never understand, you can choose to honor who you are. So today begin by saying, I see me, I choose me, I love me in all my raw, radiant, rising beauty. Scorpio, you are a sacred transformation. Let's be honest, you've walked through hell and came out with eyes full of stars. You've grieved silently, healed in secret, and rebuilt yourself in the dark. And that makes you a miracle. But now, it's time to stop surviving and start loving, to stop hiding and start embracing, to stop doubting and start rising again and again and again. You are the phoenix, you are the storm and the calm, the healer and the healed, the flame and the ashes, the soul who turns pain into poetry. And this journey into self-love might just be the most powerful transformation of all. In the comments below, share one truth. You're ready to honor even if it's messy, even if it's vulnerable, Let this be your sacred offering to yourself and to others walking beside you. There is no right way to heal, only your way, and it is enough. We see you, Scorpio. We honor you, and we are walking with you always.